YouTube. Man. Dropped my load off this morning. It wasn't as bad as well, yes it was. They sent the like the local directions to get there right. And so they had the street name spelled wrong, right? And because it's called Roar Street, and the street is actually spelled RHORS. And in the notes they had RORAS, Roarers, right? So when I pulled up to Roar Street, I'm looking to the right because it was a right turn. I was like, man, I don't know if I can make it down that road. But once I actually got like past it, to see, I was like, oh man, yeah, I probably could have made it down that road. I said, but I looked at my Google Earth, so I said, well, I should be able to just make this next turn up here, and I can drive straight into the place like that, because that was my whole point anyway. Because I'm like, if I go down this road, I don't think I have enough room to make the turn, going into the place. So I get up to the turn and I'm looking, like the turn that I get to, I'm like, this don't look right, man. So school bus coming, is a car to the left. So I stop because I'm like, I'm gonna need like school bus and all track behind y'all. I'm gonna need all that right there to make this turn. So the school bus driver, he looking. I'm continuing to look at the car over here because I don't know what that individual in the car stopped for, because it's like, well, you know what? I take that back. She was being courteous because she knew I was going to have to swing out to make that turn. So she was being courteous, right? So school bus come, and the traffic behind the school bus, they like stay in their position. So I'm like thinking to myself, like, okay, like y'all must be used to this, because other people, you know what I'm saying, they would have seen that and they would have just sat at the stop sign and looked at you like, you got room to turn. So I get to the place and I'm like, oh, like I'm like actually riding by a school. Like this is an actual school I'm going by. So then I make it to the turn to go to the place, and I go down there and I'm like, yo, I was supposed to turn on that other street. I should have turned on that other street, and I could have avoided all of this. I could have avoided all of this stuff right here. So I get there, get to the security guard like, hey, man, they give you a delivery confirmation number? So I'm looking. He was like, it's supposed to start with, these 3 digits. So I'm looking. I'm like, nah, I don't have that number. So he's like, well, man, I can't let you in without that number, man. So, just, call your dispatch and get that number, and I'm going to let you back in. So I called dispatch. Luckily, because usually you don't answer the phone the first time I call. So luckily he answered the phone this time. So I was like, okay, well. So I called, and what's going on with him? Like a brake ain't letting off. This truck beside me trying to pull off, like the truck ain't moving. But anyway, so is he bagging up? I don't know what he got going on. But anyway, so I go back, call. He said, well, I don't have the number. He said, I'm gonna give you a call back. So security guard called me on the CB, and he like, yeah, man, I can let you in now. They told me you can come on in or whatever like that. So I come on in, whip around, get unloaded. He unload me real quick or whatnot. So I take back off on down the road because I had about 200 miles to get here to this lumberyard. So I'm driving. And I get here to the place, and I'm looking at my GPS, and the GPS like, it's a bypass. And the phone is like, nah, you can just keep straight. So kind of like when I get to the red light, I'm looking like where the bypass is. I'm looking at the red light, and I'm kind of looking, and it almost looks like I see a sign, like with no trucks to keep forward. So I'm like, let me just go and take the bypass, right? Let me go and take the bypass. I don't want to be in no trouble. Even though there was no sign, because usually when you get to a place like this, there's usually a sign somewhere that says truck use bypass, right? But I didn't see one. So I said, well, let me just go on and turn. So I turn, get on the road. So then I see a sign. Sign say truck route, once I get off, like exit off the bypass. I'm like, all right, cool. So it's going to open up. So I get up here to the suggested truck route, and it's like I'm leaving a 2-lane road to turn onto another 2-lane road. And I'm like, and so it's a lady, she coming up in her vehicle. I'm like, I can't make the turn. So she backs up, and I make the turn, and I'm thinking in my mind, like, in what world, in what hemisphere is this a truck route? And what's throwing me off is like, I don't know if I need to leave back out that way, or do I need to leave out the way that I initially wanted to go? Because I'm driving back to get on 75 so I can go up. And I don't really know, like, where I'm going to make it. Because I know once you get, like, north of, Atlanta on 75, it's slim pickings. And then by the time I probably end up making up there, that'll be, like, right in the thick of, like, the rush hour traffic. So it's going to be, like, it's going to be hectic. It's just going to be hectic. I do not like driving through Atlanta. I do not like driving through Atlanta. I hate driving through Atlanta. My first time ever driving a truck through Atlanta, I was with my trainer, and he was like, man, you want to get something to eat? Because we were coming back 20 west. He was like, you want to get something to eat now? No, what it was like, going to take a shower. He's like, man, well, because it was at that week where it's like, all right, I want to see where your decision-making skills at. So he was like, if we start to take a shower now, we're going to run into the rush hour traffic. But if you wait till we get on the other side of 20, we'll be good. But he left it up to me. I'm like, man, I want to take a shower, man. Like I said, I had never been to Atlanta, so I'm like, my G, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, rush hour, what, the movie? So we're going to take the shower, come back out, get on 20. Well, get on 285 to go back to the other side of 20. And I was like, what in the world is this? I mean, like, in and out, in and out, in and out. And, like, jokers are jumping in and out, and we are literally moving at about 15, 20 miles per hour. And you are literally jumping in and out of traffic. Like, for what? You're not going to make it nowhere. And don't let it rain in Atlanta. Oh, my God. It's like they start to malfunction or something. Like, the driving just gets worse, But, anyway, I get over here. I put in my empty weight. I say I'm like 30,000, empty weight. So the lady, she gives me the piece of paper, and she's like, is this too much for you? Let me show you how much initially it was going to be. I said, oh, yeah, that's too much. That's too much. That's too much. So, one of the things, if anybody drive flatbed or so you pick up some lumber, right? Anytime you see 13, you know it's going to be some BS. You'd rather for it to be a nice, even number. Because when you see 13, that means they're going to load 12. They're going to put that 1 right there in the middle. I got these 6-foot tarps. So, that 1 in the middle is just going to throw my tarp just completely off. So, just let me get these 12 12. Let me make my job easy for me. That tarp just lay flat down on there. Another thing I'm looking at, it's like I'm going to get 1 8-foot, 1 10-foot, 2 12s, 3 14s, 3 16s, 1 18, and 1 20. I think that's what it is. It's number 2 lumber, so I got to tarp it. And then it's raining. It's been raining over here all day, off and on, so it is what it is. Yeah, I've never been over here before. So there's like a line of trucks behind me. So when I pulled up, it was a truck right here where I'm at, and there was a truck over here to the left. But it's like 3 trucks like right behind me. So I don't know if the guy, he can't drive around me and park over there or what the situation is. But like I said, this is my first time here, so I don't want to make it seem like I'm an issue, you know. But what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to pull up a little bit, you know, just in case. I'm just gonna pull up just in case, cause I don't know. Oh man, yeah. I can't pull up too far because the way they got it. It's a road right here, and it's a scale. So if I pull up too far, I'll like actually be right in the way of the way the scale come out. Because if you look at how the scale come out, you know, it's